And if you can hear my voice, we are live from Paris, standing in front of the Hôtel de Ville. I can see a lot of people are already writing their names, saying they're watching from Omaha. Let me introduce my guests and the plan for this evening. Aha! So,
Bonjour. Bonsoir.
to my immediate right is Jeff Koterba, cartoonist par excellence from Omaha. To my further right, Bernie Duhaime, who, as I've written, has a behind-the-scenes history with the Musée d'Orsay, which we'll be talking about in depth. Hello, gentlemen.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
We're happy to be here. We're in Paris.
Omaha.
Can everybody hear us? Is there anything wrong with the picture? Anything like that? I'm going to show you the Hôtel de Ville while you're all tuning in. But let us know. We can see the comments here. Let us know where. Oh, look over my shoulder, guys. We got people from as far away as Tasmania, Australia.
Wow.
Honolulu, Hawaii.
Nice.
And a lot from Omaha, Boston, New York. Lisa's from Don. Where is Don, Lisa? Okay, great. We got people from all over the world. I can assume that you can hear us well. The idea is everything looks good, sounds great, and London too. Oh my goodness. The idea is we're going to take you guys for an evening stroll around the Marais. I'll introduce the idea properly in a second, but just so you know what to expect for the next hour, we're going to be showing you sort of what life is like. We want to make it interactive. We want to, if you want us to zoom in on something, we can do it. And we're happy to answer your questions about anything from Paris, maybe the history, depending on what kind of question you ask, writing books, making cartoons, and the Musée d'Orsay. But mainly, we're just three guys who want to show you around the Marais on this beautiful evening, and we want to, give a bit of armchair travel, basically.
Yeah.
So far, so good?
So far, so good.
I've done all the talking so far. Sure. I think it's important to explain why so many people from Omaha are watching. And maybe, Jeff, you can do that as we walk. Are you comfortable to walk and talk?
Sure, yeah. I've done that a few times. I haven't had that much wine. Am I supposed to mention that I've had some wine?
Just the 6 glasses?
Just the 6. Well, between three of us. How many? Yes, this event is sponsored by Alliance Française Omaha. And a big thanks to Jerry Sislow and Elizabeth McInerney, who are our president and vice president, respectively, and also our events co-committee folks who helped put this on. And so we've had a relationship with Oliver for Years, long time. And as many of you know, we've had events with Oliver talking about his books. And so we thought, well, why not come here to Paris and do it live with him? So here we are.
And that was the idea, because the last couple of events we've done have been me in Paris, you in Omaha.
Yep.
Interviews, very fun interviews,
yeah.
But not much movement. There wasn't much movement.
No.
Whereas now,
I would swivel in my chair.
as more people are joining, just to keep you updated, we're walking past the Hôtel de Ville for the next hour. We'll be walking around the Marais. Olympic rings over there because the Olympics will be coming to town 2024. And a lot of viewers from Omaha, because as Jeff explained, this is an event via the Alliance Française de Omaha. You don't need to tell me about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm jumping.
Exactement.
There are also people watching who are Patreon supporters of the Eiffel Tower. Hello to you guys as well. I suspect those people who aren't in Omaha are perhaps Patreon supporters and Patreon supporters of you.
Exactly.
As well.
And my supporters on Patreon. I say Patreon, you say Patreon, but it's all the same.
Potato.
Potato.
Raspberry, tomato. But so
there are Omaha residents and members of Alliance Française that travel the world, so they could be there as well. You never know.
All that matters is that we have a good crowd of people watching us. We want to give you guys a good show, answer all your questions, and mainly make sure that everybody has a good time.
Yes.
So with that in mind, I'm going to turn the camera around. We're in the Marais district of Paris. It stretches between the 3rd and the 4th arrondissement. I'm probably sure that almost everybody watching knows the Marais and has maybe even been here. But where we're standing now is in front of the BHV department store. It says there, here's a fact that maybe not everybody knows. BHV stands for the Bazar de l'Hôtel de Ville. BHV, and it's a pretty fancy department
huge.
store.
And the bottom level, the sous-sol,
Yeah.
is full of bric-bracs.
Yeah, right.
We would come all the way from the 16th when we had our apartment to buy little screws that were a particular type, and they'd always have it. It's amazing.
It's and that's the thing. It's got like that on the bottom floor, but then you go up to the top floor, and it's like one of the hottest cocktail bars in town.
Yes, yeah.
You go to the middle floors, you can find sort of sometimes luxury items for your home. But I guess there's a place for everybody to shop in there. So the idea was, Bernie corrected me. I said to him before we began, I'm an expert on the Marais, don't worry. And then I said, we'll go up Rue des Archives. He said, that's not Rue des Archives, that's Rue de Temple. As a guy goes past on one wheel. Check this guy out.
Wow.
Did you pay him to do that?
That's, of course I did. That's the Eiffel Tower walk show. We missed the light, I think, because of that guy. But really importantly, everyone at home, we are keeping an eye on your comments. If you have any questions about anything, the whole point of doing this live is that we can answer them, we can talk to you, we can give you the feeling that you're here in Paris with us, even though you're not. So let's see. Hello from Germany. Except Andrea says hello from Germany, no sound, but then she says it's fine. So maybe it just blanked out for a second. That's not a question. We got viewer in Portugal. Hello, Jim. Where is Omaha within the US? Asks the aftermath of excitement.
Let's let Bernie.
It's pretty much right in the center of the U.S., east, west, and north, south. We're an agricultural state, but we have our city of Omaha is pretty large, about 800,000. And we have a lot of members of Alliance Française that are watching today as well.
And did we say that you two are from Omaha? Did we mention that?
I don't think we've mentioned that Bernie is.
I'm not originally from there. But,
Where are you from originally?
New Hampshire.
Uh-huh.
Well, as a kid, I spoke French.
So your
Because
French is...
my grandparents had come from Quebec, so we have an accent Québécois, which some people are proud of, others are not.
But your French is like fluent?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, okay, because I noticed there was a sort of accent when you were ordering your drink, but I didn't pick it that it was Quebecois via New Hampshire, via Omaha.
Sure.
But now I know. Guys, we're going to talk, not just yet, but we're going to talk about the Musée d'Orsay and the friends, the American friends of the Musée d'Orsay at some point. Quite an interesting story that I think you guys will be intrigued to hear about. We're going to talk about cartooning.
We might talk about your latest children's book.
We could talk about any of it. We discussed over those 6 glasses of wine each. I'm kidding. That we're happy to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And we're also happy, and this is a bit fun, I think, we're happy to go wherever you guys want us to go. And the way I'm going to prove it,
Omaha.
well,
That might be
within reason, the way I'm going to prove it to you all right now is, this is the first choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you two options, right? There are 100 people watching now.
Okay.
I'm going to turn this around. Straight in front of us is the Rue du Temple, a beautiful street.
Straight ahead, yeah.
Recently renovated with a metro entrance. So think of the word temple, which is down this way. I'll give you a brief glimpse. Looks kind of quiet. The next street, down there and to the left, that runs parallel, is called Rue des Archives. So imagine the word archives. We will literally walk down the street that you choose. The first word, now I'm looking for the word temple or archives. The first word that we see 5 times we're doing. I'm standing here until it happens.
I'll keep count for you.
Temple, okay. Bernie, you're counting temples.
Okay, 1, 2.
Jeff, you're counting archives.
Oh.
1, 2,
1,
3,
2,
please, 2.
3 temples, 4 temples, 5 temples.
Okay.
Temples 1.
But just though. Look, lots more temples coming in. So you're choosing your own adventure. You chose wrong. I'm just kidding.
We just crossed the Rue de la Verrerie.
It's a good one. Let's show that because that's almost a tongue
That's a
twister.
big one too. Oops, sorry.
Rue de la Verrerie. Verrerie. Can I hear it in Quebecois?
It's similar, I think.
Say?
Rue de la Verrerie.
Oh, very nice. And for those guys at home who are big fans of sort of, well, we're talking about art a little bit already. Above the street sign there is a piece of Invader, the artist who does mosaics. You can see, maybe I can zoom in even better on that. Anonymous, no one knows who he is. My zoom is pretty good, look at that.
Yeah.
And that one's in the rainbow colors because we're in one of the gay quarters of Paris. In fact, Rue des Archives is very colorful indeed. This way.
This way, Rue du Temple.
We follow what the crowd wanted. We listen to the people. And someone put a... Jim McPherson writes Temple about 5 minutes too late. Jim, refresh your page. Here we go. Please show the new metro entrance, says Kenny Fisher.
This is it, right there.
Here we go. This has been a building site for, I don't know, 2 years or something, I feel.
You know what you might want to show? The escalator coming up is about 3 stories from bottom to top.
Is it? I've not seen this open yet. It must have opened fairly recently.
It's fantastic.
Oh,
I've
wow.
been using it a lot.
I'm tempted to go down, but we might lose internet.
I'll meet you up here. No, it's a one-way. Don't.
Yeah, I can't. Don't worry, I can't go very far. He's right. Look at that. Lisa says it was cool to see the gear. Let's get a close in for Lisa. A close up. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And then this will take you down to line 1 and line 11, right there. Nice. I think they did this well. Huh?
We've been using this particular metro because our apartment is only a block away here.
Oh. Jeff's taking behind the scenes pictures. Let's keep going. And remember, folks, this is the whole point, is for it to be interactive and fun.
Yes.
Not to say that the last times we've met and that you've interviewed me, Jeff, weren't interactive and fun. They were rather interactive as well. And they were fun too, but this is the sort of on-the-go version of it where we could all get hit by a scooter at any point. And more people keep tuning in. So here's a question from the aftermath of excitement, and we can assume that this person is not from the US because they asked where Omaha is.
Yep.
And maybe Jeff, you've just got here, you can give an answer to this. Are the tourist levels back to what they're usually like?
Here in Paris?
Yeah.
It seems to me that they pretty much are.
Here's your proof.
It's really crowded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we definitely don't want to dwell too much on this topic of COVID, but...
No. And in fact, yesterday, if I can say, I was at Smith & Sons at the bookshop, where you and Lena were having a book signing for your new children's book.
I was just zooming in on that. It was...
packed. It was packed. It was very crowded.
I didn't pay you to say that.
No, it's true, but it was wonderful to see. And having done book events online before, it was great to see you in person doing that.
That was where we met.
Online.
At
the bookshop. Yeah, I know. I know. We met online. Yeah,
but I mean, where we met.
That was the first time.
For the first time.
And I was masked up, and it felt weird to meet you in person masked up.
It's
But the window display was wonderful, and there were people outside, adoring the window.
Yeah, drooling over it, licking
They were.
it. Les
And for
vitrines.
folks in Omaha, the Bookworm Omaha does have those books available.
That's
so,
right.
Yes.
We can, in fact, look, I'm going to get it out of the way because I don't want to bang on about my own work. If you're in Omaha, if you guys are in Omaha and you're interested, let me do the 1 minute version. How about that?
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you hold it, Jeff?
All right.
In fact, we'll turn it around and I'll do my pitch so that I can get on with it after. All the people who are already followers of my work ignore me, but people who aren't, I think this is the reason I was invited here.
It was originally.
We've done children's books. Roger the Liger, Kylie the Crocodile, based on true stories, based on pure fiction. Lena, my wife, is Swedish illustrator. I wrote them. They're for 3 to 9-year-olds. What people tell me. I don't have a 3 or 9-year-old on it. But the idea is, how many seconds has it been?
You're good. You're good. You're good.
The idea is a beautiful picture of Paris. There's a rampage where Cafe du Fleur looking for crocodiles hidden by storm drain. Same with Roger the Liger. I'll show one page. Thing is, I've been talking about this since this one came out.
I know, but this was one of the reasons we wanted to talk to you. So, sorry, I was distracted by the motorcycle.
I've got a little scoop for everyone watching now.
Okay.
Especially in Omaha, but tomorrow the podcast.
Yes.
The story of how I went out.
Ah, nice.
Picture of Roger the Liger down in probably the legal part. But anyway, if you've got kids, you want to introduce them to Paris.
They love it.
Ah, they're lovely.
I have a
Just
granddaughter
just
in
beautiful.
Denver that loves Kylie, but she hasn't met one yet.
This we need to rectify. But there is a bookworm, and the link to it is below.
Woo! Awesome. Awesome.
And for all you guys who came here via my own invite, sorry to push it down your throat, but that's what happens with a new
We
book.
made him do it.
Yeah, it was against my will. Okay, now.
We came from Omaha for this.
Yeah, this is amazing. I think, which street is this?
It becomes
Okay, let's change street. Let's go down this way. This is really kind of the last nice day in Paris. I think it's going to turn into winter right after this.
That sounds like Nebraska.
They're not having such good weather in Nebraska this week, I think, or today.
A lot of comments said they couldn't hear me talk because I was too far away. So I'm not going to say it all again, but I think the 10-second version is my wife illustrated those children's books. I wrote them, and they're at the Bookworm on the link below if you're in Omaha. Please check them out. That's why they hosted this event today. Now, on to Paris. We're walking through kind of a quiet evening in the Marais, I think. Quiet and quiet. I mean, it's not a Saturday night kind of quiet. We got beautiful, enormous, big, beautiful doors.
You're really into doors too.
I love doors.
Yeah,
I can't get enough of them. And for those of you tuning in late, the idea is we're bringing Paris to you on this Sunday evening for Paris, Sunday afternoon for
1 o'clock, a little after 1 p.m. in Omaha.
and very early in the morning for Sydney and Tasmania. Icon Library Consortium says it's super duper rainy in Omaha today.
It was
Uh-huh.
terrible storms last night, I think.
CK Duggan says the thunder and lightning very, very frightening. That's a Bohemian Rhapsody reference. And Ellen wants to know the history of this district. And Lynn wants to know where we're having dinner tonight. A lot of questions at once. I can give you the brief history of this district. I assume there are some people who maybe don't know so much about.
Am I right?
Yeah. So the word marais is French for like swamp or marsh. And the idea is 2,000 years ago, when Paris sort of began, when old Caesar came here. The Pope is here. And a nun. Oh, it's Halloween. So old Caesar lands on the Ile Saint-Louis or the Ile de la Cité, the two islands in the middle of Paris. Gradually, they start building north through the marshes, which is exactly where we're walking now. It's changed a lot over those thousands of years. Now this is one of the sort of chicest areas in town. As we mentioned, it's a bit of this. We're in the gay quarter right now, which is why there's all the rainbows all over the place. But we're moving to the other side where there are untold treasures.
And this is Rue des Archives that you were talking about before.
Yeah. There's a story here about when it was Pride. They get the Pride Parade in Paris. They put chalk to make the rainbow LGBTQ flag,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
And what happened is some vandals came and scratched it out.
Really?
And then the mayor was Anne Hidalgo. The mayor was so upset by it that she made it a permanent thing. So that's why it looks like this around here. And just
We have the Petit Bonhomme Vert.
yes, the Petit Bonhomme Vert, meaning we can cross the little green man, and we're surrounded by just stunning architecture. Here we go. So this neighborhood, for you guys who are brand new, is a lot about shopping, a lot about dining, bars, restaurants, street art even. I haven't walked down here for quite a while, and this is like the third of these invaders that I've seen. These mosaic. What do you think? What do you think, Jeff? As an artist yourself, what do you make of Old Invader?
Yeah, I'm always interested in, like, when are these being done? Like in the middle of the night?
I
Like, are they
think so,
bringing
yeah.
a ladder? I guess right here they probably were able to step up.
Good step up.
They get up here and try to-
Go on then, go. No.
This morning I saw this family coming down the street, and the youngest daughter, maybe 5 or 6, got very excited and ran up to a wall and pointed to one of those invaders.
Oh, really?
Jumping up and down and very proud to have found one.
Well,
And I was clueless at the time, but thank you for at least catching me up a little bit.
well, I think the reason that people get really excited by his work is that you can get an app and you can catch them. As in, you take a picture of it and it gives you points.
I see.
So there's this little addictive element to it. It's how you can sort out.
Banksy doesn't have that.
No, Banksy's not.
No.
Banksy's not there yet. Lynn mentioned that we're walking past the very apartment that she usually stays in Paris. I think she said. Where is it? Where, Lynn? Right past the apartment I stayed in. Is it up there? Hope you're feeling right at home. How are you guys feeling on your first walk show?
It's fun so far. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look in for questions. Patricia wonders if Invader still does them. Absolutely. Those last two that we've walked past, I had never seen before, and I've walked around these streets a lot, but not in the past year, as I live in the 7th arrondissement now.
Oh, you're kind of upscale now.
At least upriver. We'll just go around this crowd here. Okay, let's see some more. Let's see some more comments. Someone watching from Brooklyn, but originally from Omaha. Now taking conversation classes with AFO, which is
yes.
Alliance Française of Omaha. It is KZUEGNER. K Zugner.
Yes.
You know who Kay is?
I'm the new membership chair, so I think this person just recently re-upped their membership. So merci.
Brilliant. Are there Haussmannian buildings? Yeah, a lot of the buildings, not so much these ones. I'll point them out when we get there. What cool Bill Venuti. What did Bill say? Haha, get this. So Bill and Lynn, who I don't think know each other, stayed in the same apartment.
Oh,
It must be a...
that's how rumors start.
Woohoo! Okay. Beautiful little quiet streets around here and nice little restaurants. I've been to this one before. Are you guys very at home around here? Do you know the area?
Not very well.
Okay.
This is the first time we've actually stayed here, but we've often stayed in the 16th. But by the way, straight ahead is a boulangerie that is famous. It was on some tour, and people were raving about it. Obviously, it's closed at this hour of the night, but we can't get a baguette.
What a shame that we're doing the nighttime tour and you're getting excited.
Famous, Bernie?
Supposedly one of the best baguettes in
Well, they
France.
have the contest.
They have a contest every year, and they've either
Best
been 1,
baguette
2, or 3, or something like that.
And you get to, if you win, then you get to be
just-
the official baguette for
Élysée Palace.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's extremely strict rules about what makes a what makes a baguette. Like it has to meet a certain criteria, the right size, the right shape, the right length, the right ingredients.
Sure.
And then once you win, like maybe we can see on the window there, they tend to promote it.
Yes.
Very proudly
once
for the
you
rest
win
of
one,
time.
yeah, for life, I think.
You don't even need to win. You can come 7th or whatever.
That's true.
There's one near my house that's 12th.
Oh, and
Last year.
they're bragging.
Oh, they're
still.
proud.
Yeah,
But I
sure.
mean, if you think how many boulangeries there are,
Oh, sure.
and for you guys who don't speak French, although I think everyone does, boulangerie is like a baker, and we've approached it. Now let's look at the window. There is no window,
Yeah, it's all it's covered up.
but there is an ice cream shop. Nice. If it wasn't so cold, we maybe would have made a stop. Oh, crepes. Oh, that's very. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I can smell it. Okay. I think we should go up.
This way, right?
Yep.
That'll take us to Place des Vosges.
That was our idea. We want to take you guys to this wonderful square, and it is a square, a perfect square, a park that may or may not be open, but it's surrounded by these beautiful big arcades, and we figured it would be nice to share with you. With y'all. Do you say y'all in Omaha, or is that more of a, where is that?
At least I don't think most people say y'all.
Where is that?
It's
Is that-
further south.
go a
I
little
think. Alabama, Mississippi, maybe. Or maybe
Might hear it in
Arkansas.
Florida.
Yeah, sure.
Can you smell that crepe still?
I did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It smells good.
Okay, you know what we could do is we could take a swing down Rue des Rosiers
Okay.
on the right, which is.
I don't know that one.
Oh, well, let me introduce you to it
Good.
there.
Okay.
Now we're in the Jewish quarter.
That's nice.
Someone asked when the decorations start coming up, the Christmas decorations. It's not quite yet, but as we turn
There are some decorations up
There's
there, though.
definitely
What is that?
decorations. I'm not sure. This is, if you're coming as a tourist to Paris, you must hit this street because it's charming and full of action. And I'll show it to you. We'll all show it to you.
So they're sitting outside, and yet they're heated within this plastic.
They've got the right idea. The only problem in France is you can smoke in those places.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, because there's one opening or something. So if you're not a smoker, it can be quite
Oliver, have you
intense.
seen a lot of additional outdoor space? It seems like some of the streets have been blocked off.
For sure, yeah.
During
The town hall has let people extend their terrace space in many cases, and it feels like that's the case here.
And do you think those are going to be permanent, or do you think they'll have to come down at some point?
I hope so, Jeff. I hope they stay up because
Yeah.
I'm all for more space for us to eat in Paris and not get hit by cars. Let's see. Stephanie wants a repeat of the name of the street, and Carl jumps in with the correct answer. Rue des Rosiers, which means Rosebush Street. It used to have rose bushes. Look at this. Let's have a look.
Still some greenery.
I want to show this, and then I want to continue.
You haven't been.
Way back I was here, but I didn't know it was called Rosier.
Okay.
So there used to be rose bushes here. This was like the city limits back in 1200.
Wow.
So you guys know maybe that I'm a bit obsessed with the old wall that used to run around Paris.
That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
It used to run along this street, and we won't really be able to see it now, but there's vestiges of it quite near. I just wanted to show this beautiful building.
Wow.
Chez Marianne. Lovely. It's a very...
The smells are making me hungry.
Yeah, what are we doing? We should have walked along the Seine or something.
Oh, our sandwich de cru de thé.
Oh, mama. Okay. Carl Beam said he can smell the falafels almost. There are falafel shops around here that are world famous. Sasha's watching from Texas, and Stephanie says, I say y'all. Send in some questions, guys. Give us something to answer. It's kind of interesting. One thing that I really like about, especially the Marais, and there's better examples of it than this, but it's still really cool, is when you get old facades with something different in. And I think there's a really good example a little further along.
Well, I wonder about this sign here. So,
Well, I was trying to read it, La Rose the Desert Rose,
Yeah.
but then it matches the name of the thing, so maybe it is not as old as we
Not as
think.
old.
But sometimes you'll see like really old facade, and inside it's like this. They're selling, it could be Nike or something like that. And
They've left it.
Yeah, they
Is
left
that by
it.
choice?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or are there laws to
I
protect?
don't know. That's a good question. A question to which I don't have an answer, Jeff.
Because that would not always be the case, say, in a place like Omaha, where unfortunately
Right.
historic buildings and facades may not always be preserved.
Well, here's a good example. Look at that old stone wall.
Yeah,
That stone wall
I love
could
that.
be hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be 800 years old stones if they come from the wall that I was just talking about. But
And even this exterior here.
I've got something for you guys. I've got something for you. Okay. I've never seen this one before, but do you see these hooks? These, I guess it's iron?
to stop people from jumping off the roof.
Well, I was going to ask if you two know.
I have no clue.
Pigeons?
No? It's not pigeons. Does anyone want to jump in with the correct answer? It's not pigeons, and it's not for stopping you to climb. It's a hint. I'll give you a hint. It's what the building used to sell.
Meat?
Correct.
They
Jeff,
hung the meat
you were almost as quick as Lisa W. And Bill Venuti. But yeah, this would have been, I'm quite sure. I can't say this for certain because I never noticed it until now. But it would have been a butcher. And they would have hung typically like big old horses
Yeah.
and cows.
Yeah.
Right? You can see old pictures of Paris from 100 years ago. Just would have had big old meat hanging out the front, and you had to walk past it to go in. And there's these little vestiges, these little parts of history hidden all over
Wow.
a district like this.
And Ile Saint Louis was originally basically like farmland, yeah?
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
It was. Half of it was for cows. Half of that island was called Ile aux Vaches.
So what, have they brought the cows from there here to this?
Could be, yeah. It depends how old it is. I don't know how. That didn't look so crazy old, did it?
Bernie, you want to get on a motorcycle with me? And we'll
I've never
ride
seen you
through
drive one. I don't think so.
It's been a few years. I used to drive a motorcycle.
I wonder what these people are all in line for.
Falafel.
Oh, falafel.
So Carl Beam, who sounds like an intelligent gentleman,
Yes.
commented he could almost smell the falafel. I think he was referring to
He
this
knew ahead
place
of time
here.
that we were coming up to this. Look how long this line is. Wow.
Good falafel.
Oliver, when did the Marais start to become kind of the hip new?
Before I was here, so I can't tell you exactly, but I do know that it was like 40, nah, maybe a bit more, like 60 years ago. It was kind of dodgy around here. So
Way back.
Yeah.
Place des Vosges was for the elite only.
yeah, right.
And,
We're talking way back,
yeah, way back.
500 years ago back. But I think it's like with everything, it goes through cycles. But nowadays, anything central in Paris is going to be. Hang on, did we walk past? No, we didn't yet. Maria Trenzado, who knows everything,
Yes.
said 1990s is the answer to the question.
Okay.
I believe her. Sally Porter's watching from Melbourne. She says that line is so long. She's right. It was long. It's going to be the hottest place in Paris
It's
right now.
almost like they're giving them away.
Maybe they were. What are we doing walking past them?
I'll go back and stand in line when you come back. Maybe I'll be through the line.
So Carl jumps in again. He says the Murray felt dodgy in the 80s when he lived there. So there you go. When were you here, Bernie?
90s.
90s, okay.
98 or 99.
So it was nice then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I only took a one-day walkthrough, so I'm not sure I'm an expert at that. But anyway.
We've been talking to you guys for just over half an hour. The plan is to go for just under half an hour more. The idea is we're happy to answer any questions that we're capable of. And maybe now's a good time to talk Musée d'Orsay. What do you think?
Well, I'll make it brief because I don't want to do an ad, but the group that we founded in 2009 was called the American Friends of Musée d'Orsay. And it was because we have lots of Americans that want to be generous to that museum because it's a wonderful museum. We have the largest collection of Impressionists. And if they do that directly, there's no tax deduction. But we are a 501c3 firm. And so if they make a contribution to the American Friends of Musée d'Orsay, then it all works out. And we then gift several things to the museum.
But what is your involvement in?
Oh, well, I was one of the original founders, and I am treasurer. So it's been lots of fun. This weekend has been the big gala weekend. It was 4 days straight, starting with a reception at the American Ambassador's residence.
Oh my goodness.
We have breakout sessions. Our first one on Friday morning was a trip to the Moulin Rouge for a back, seen by no one other than others, and so the dancers were not there, but we got to see all their costumes and all of that. It was kind of fun.
I'm going to pause you right mid-sentence
Sure,
to
go
show
ahead.
something we walked past.
Yeah,
and
let's
then I'm
do
going to
that.
pick up again because this is a walk show and anything can happen.
Yes, absolutely.
Someone's coming past at high speed. I'm just going to show you guys behind this. The truck blocked my view. This, you can see it. If you ever come to Paris and you want that wall I was talking about, 800 years ago there was this big wall that surrounded Paris. And if you come into this exact alleyway during the day, you can hardly see it. But that there, do you think you can see it on my camera? That
Kind of dark.
it's a tower from the wall. You can see it. We can see it. But I don't know. Anyway, go in this park and check that out because this is, as far as I'm concerned, some of the most interesting history that nobody knows about. Here's the name. Take a screenshot. Joseph Minieret. But it's off the Rue des Rosiers, and I've talked about this a lot on my show because I'm rather fascinated by it. But that was just a brief aside, Bernie. I want to know what made you say, I want to get involved in the Musée d'Orsay.
Well, only because I was living in Paris part of the year, and they were looking for someone who could be their treasurer that could handle both French and English language, but also banking, because we would do business on both sides of the Atlantic.
Right.
So I filled the gap, and I then became, more interested in art. I knew nothing when I first started it.
Right.
I still don't know very much, but I can at least tell a Monet from a Manet and Degas from
What year was
Cézanne.
that, Bruno?
2009.
2009?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been fun.
Can you get me access to the Musée d'Orsay? Secret access? Through the tunnels
Yes.
or something? Yeah?
Well, I can get you a pass to get in.
Well, pass to get
Whether
in.
it's secret, I don't know.
Okay, well that is an intriguing story, and we can share links afterwards if anyone of you guys are out there interested in becoming a friend, an American friend. If you're Australian, you probably can't do it, huh? You have to...
Well, we'll take anyone, but they would just join the American Friends Musée d'Orsay.
There you go, guys. Something worth checking out. The next topic is going to be talking to Jeff about his work, but first I'm going to turn the camera around and look at some questions and get... you know what we haven't done for a while is we haven't done a choose your own adventure.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to give everyone a pretty easy choice.
Okay. This is Rue de Pavé.
I'm just going to clean the screen. I think it's clean, but I want to just make sure it's perfect so that everybody can see perfectly well. Bear with me, everyone. Yeah, it's still nice. Okay, so down that way is Rue Saint-Antoine, a big street.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
A big, busy street with probably a lot of action, but a lot of cars. And then down this way is sort of cozier cobble streets, narrow and winding. So we're going to go 5 and 5 again,
Okay.
right? But I haven't told you the words yet. The words are going to be quiet or noisy. Whatever we say. Okay,
Which one?
Bernie, you're on quiet.
All right.
Jeff, you're on noisy.
All right, here we go.
We'll pick whatever you guys do.
1 quiet, 2 quiet, 3 quiet, 4 quiet,
I'm
5
outnumbered.
quiet.
Okay.
We don't even
Do
need
you
to
think
go any further.
do you think I sold it in a particular way that
I
everybody?
think, yeah.
Hey,
The
the
question was linked to a particular
I
side.
think we
Danny-
should have gone falafel or no falafel.
Danny and Aaron or Arendt want noisy. There is benefits to the noisy street too. There's a lot going on there. It's a snapshot of a Sunday night in Paris.
Yeah.
But the the tyranny of the majority, says Danny. Hey, we said it was choose your own adventure. We can do it. We'll do another one before we finish. I like the idea that we're not in control of where we're going. A couple more people jumping in with noisy. Sorry to disappoint you.
You know, you did
We'll make lots of.
You started the
Lots of
vote
noise.
with starting with the word quiet, so those people had a few seconds to start typing.
You're right. Here's another secret of the Marais that I can, although in the evening we can't sneak into the courtyards as much as we could during the day, but on the right-hand side of this street, as Bernie said, Rue Pavé, P-A-V-E-E. Yeah, this is much more quiet, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yes.
On the right-hand side up there is a library. We won't be able to get in now, but it's got a really cool courtyard with big, crooked sort of walls and massive cobblestones. And you can get into the library too and have a little look around without paying anything.
Oliver, what's your secret to sneaking into courtyard?
Fearlessness.
Fearlessness.
Yeah,
Do
you.
you ever get kicked out?
Yep, definitely. Yep, a lot actually. Nah, not a lot, but it's. I'm used to it.
Successful than not?
Yeah, definitely. Well, most people in Paris appreciate like the beautiful architecture, and they know they want to share it with you. Like these kind of places should be seen, you know, and I think they know it too. So these places you don't need to sneak in because it's a public library.
Do private courtyards ever have like an open house? Like once a year, did they say, hey, all the
Sometimes there's things like
courtyards are
that,
open?
but
Well,
more.
if they're owned by the government. There is the third Saturday or Sunday of a weekend rather of September every year is called
Journée de patrimoine.
Patrimoine.
Yeah,
And every public building is open to the public, including the Élysée.
except there are enormous lines to get in there. That's the
Especially
problem.
the Élysée.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. I'm just waiting to get an invite from Macron. It might take a while. Here is, so I used to do tours in the Marais, and they were a special kind of tour because it was more, do you want to see what I think is cool as Oliver Gee, the podcaster, rather than I'm a history expert. And countless times people ask me what this, what this thing is, and countless times I said, I'm not quite sure. And I quite like the mystery of it remaining.
It seems like it might have a dark.
Yeah, I think there's
past to
something
it.
weird about it, right? It could just be a corner of this building.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just hangs over the street. Can you imagine sleeping in that
yeah,
room?
imagine. Whoa, mama. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's get back to the sidewalk. The ones you want to avoid are the guys that are doing the delivery for food because they don't care. They want to get to their destination quickly. Whereas just then, they would look like a family of tourists and they're probably scared to hit into us.
Would it be weird if right now I ordered a falafel by one of those guys and they delivered it to me?
It's.
Try to find
I
you.
wouldn't say weird. I would say excellent. Hey, order it and say that we're at the Place de Vosges, where we're going to be in about 5-10 minutes. Here on the left is something cool. I got a cool story for everybody here, actually. This is the Musée Carnavalet. It could be the Musée de... Nah, I don't think there's a de in there.
I don't think there's a do in that one.
Musée Carnavalet. And when I moved to Paris, it's been under renovation for like 7 years or something. And everybody always talked about it. It's a museum of Paris, so you get all kinds of Paris-y things in there.
And it's open now.
It's open now, and I got invited to the
opening?
pre-opening, right? So it was just... exactly, and I got this invite. We'll see if we can see through the door a little bit. I'm sure we can't, because this is the night walk. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see anything. Yeah, forget it. But to paint a little bit of a picture, maybe you guys know it from, there's a movie with Audrey Hepburn where she thieves a diamond. What is that movie?
Someone will know.
Someone will know. Yes, someone.
One of your
Why is there
listeners
no
will.
duh?
First person to tell me wins. Free admission as well, says Bill. Could that be true? Well, it was free when I went in there, and I went in there on the day that my son was due to be born.
Ah.
But he was very overdue, so I wasn't super worried. And turns out, and there's a lot more to this, I haven't told the story yet, but I went there and I didn't want to waste a second. I knew I should go there because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, but I didn't want to obviously miss the bird. Turns out I had more than enough time. I had like 2 weeks still. But anyway, I went there and I kept checking my watch, checking my phone, and they were doing a very thorough guided tour of it for these journalists and podcasters, I guess. And you know what I did? As soon as the tour started, I went the other way and just went exploring by myself. I had the entire museum
To yourself.
the entire museum to myself, and I went through every single room of this newly renovated museum and just enjoyed it at quick speed. But it was wonderful.
And you didn't miss the birth.
No, I had plenty of time. I
What a
did.
great story, though, for your son.
Yeah. And speaking of which, his name is Otis.
Yes.
He's 5 months old.
That's right.
And he's as cute in real life as he is on the photos.
These guys have both met Otis, haven't you?
Yes, we have.
Because both these guys are, well, firstly friends of the show, especially now that you're on it. But you're also both Patreon supporters, for which I thank you both. A lot of you guys watching are Patreon supporters. A lot of you guys watching aren't Patreon supporters. I'll give you the 20-second explanation is if you like this kind of video, I do them very regularly, but they're not public to view. I do a lot of stuff that are on these kind of private links, and that's how I make a living. So if you're watching this and you're new to my work, explore my work a little bit more, but then click on the link in the description and join these people from around the world who are watching. 20 seconds.
Sure, very good. And Jeff is also on the Patreon.
I was just about to get to Jeff and your
Okay.
career, but first, to catch a million, how to steal a million. I saw it coming up from a lot of people. How to steal a million. There you go.
Yeah, that
Have you guys seen it?
I think I saw it, but it was a long time
They
ago now.
steal a sculpture. The movie is Charade. Someone's
Oh,
wrong.
Charade. Oh.
No.
it's okay.
Okay. Walk shows are the best. Join up, says Diane. Oh, thanks, Diane. Now, Jeff, I want to talk to you. Jeff, cartoonist extraordinaire, illustrator, artist. Do we talk about where you used to work, or is that a
Sure,
part
no.
of your old part of your life?
Well,
now?
no, I was at the Omaha newspaper for 30-ish years. Drew about 12,000 cartoons, and then newspapers being what they are, they were making cutbacks. So I was one of the last 20 full-time newspaper cartoonists in America, and then about a year ago they kicked me out, and it was actually thanks to you, Oliver, that I remember I called you up and I said, what do I do? Do I do this Patreon thing? And you were so kind to spend time with me, sort of talk me through launching it, and it's been successful, and I'm putting out 3 cartoons every week, and they go out to about 800 newspapers around the country. So in fact, each week they end up in the top 10 for most reprinted cartoons in the country. So I've found more liberation post working for an actual newspaper. So it's really thanks my patrons, and
Who may indeed be watching.
who are, yes, indeed, and you're a patron as well.
That's true.
As is Bernie. So I'm truly grateful for you for your help and your inspiration.
You don't need to go on about
No,
it.
it's true though. I mean it. It's heartfelt.
Well, I tell you, there's a thing with the communities that one builds doing, whether it's cartoon, whether it's American Friends of the Musée d'Orsay, whether it's a podcast, you build a community with the people who enjoy what you do.
Sure.
And personally, I'm always happy to, at the very least, chat about.
It's obvious you both love what you do. May I put in, when I first heard of all of you say Patreon,
Yeah.
you say it so fast that I had to do a search several times, and it's Patreon, correct?
Right, yeah, right.
So I'll give them a shortcut if they decide to join. That's how, patreon.com, right?
Yeah, patreon.com/the Earful Tower, the name of the YouTube channel, patreon.com/
Jeffrey?
Jeffrey Koterba.
There you go.
Not two Jeffreys, just Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Koterba. But what I always say, I don't know if you do too, is if you're new to what I'm doing here, get used to it and check it out. Don't feel you need to become a member. I want you to want to be there. Like Bernie, I purposely said it fast so that you didn't just jump in too early.
Sure, okay.
And then when you sign up, you want to be there. Anyway, that's enough of this
My work's
self-promotion.
out there for free, on Instagram. And,
Same.
But,
That's
yeah,
the
Jeff
idea,
Koterba.
is-
Yeah, you can.
That's
find
the
me.
idea.
Yeah.
Go out and become a fan and then check it out. And if you become a member, we're
Cool.
hugely grateful for it.
And we may even come to your town
Yeah, maybe.
and hang out.
Now back to the tour. Bernie, what are you looking at?
We're getting to more lively.
We are. Well, I'm going to tell you something about this. There's a cool little fact. So Paris is divided into districts. In French, they're called arrondissements, and you can always know which number you are out of the 20 by looking at a street sign. Here's one that's much closer. So this is called. We're on Rue de Front Bourgeois,
Yes.
and you know we're in the 3rd district because the number 3 is in that little Napoleon hat.
But if you look directly across the street, we're in the 4th.
That's what I was going to say. We're on the border of the two. So Jeff's just walked over to the 4th. He's back to the 3rd. You can see I'm just going to jump across. I'll come back. Oh no, you can follow me if you want. Here's the 4th with those eyes. Whose eyes are they? They don't look familiar to me. But
I just ran into it.
the city's
Go back into the-
divided into 20 districts in a big snaily, spinny shape. And I think a lot of you guys knew that already. Okay, onwards, guys, onwards. We've been going 46 minutes. We might be able to loop this Place de Vosges and then go back down to like Saint Paul area. If we're quick, we might be able to end at that famous basketball court, which is a nice piece of history to check out. What do you guys think so far? I'm going to focus now on the comments for the next couple of minutes, see what I've missed. Patricia, is it really a Napoleon hat? I believe so. Sasha, Oliver, you are looking very fashionable tonight. Sasha said it to me and not you guys.
I know.
And Jeff's got the cool hat on too.
Because my head's cold.
Icon says independent is where it's at these days. Yep. Adrienne says a disaster can become an opportunity, referring to your work there, Jeff. Ellen says, Chas and I are patron supporters of Jeff. Thank you, Oliver, for helping make that happen. Well, there you go. My pleasure, Ellen. What is the name on Patreon? Mine's the Earful Tower, and yours is
Jeffrey Koterba.
JEFFREYKOTERBA.
Exactly.
We're here. Hang on, I'm doing comments for a sec.
I'm sorry.
Don't spoil the surprise. Lynn says Patreon supporters get private party invites too, real and virtual. So fun. Yeah, you're right. Lucy wants to know if you know Peter Walkley.
I do actually. Yes, a terrific artist.
There you go.
Yeah, great stuff.
And then there are a lot of comments about how to catch a thief and other Audrey Hepburn movies. Half of you are wrong and half of you are right. I think what we should do is do a full loop of this, half next to the park, which is so beautiful, and half along. I'll just give a glimpse of how beautiful these arcades are. Nice, huh? And then often there's a secret, we won't be able to go through it today, but I hope you guys can remember this. If you're in Paris and you walk down this street, so right now we're standing on the north west corner of the square. If you go down where I'm pointing, there's a secret little passage that goes through into the Hôtel de Sully,
Yes.
and you can sneak out onto that big street.
Right in the middle back there, there's a passage that goes out towards Rue Saint-Antoine.
And I think that's the passage we'll take.
Ah, okay.
So I think we're gonna walk around this beautiful park, peeping through the big old rails, and then when we get to the other side, we'll walk through the arcade.
Okay.
And now's the time, I think, when people can ask questions as probing, as deep, as personal, as offensive as they wish.
Oh boy.
As we walk around this park, I think everyone can get away with anything. Is that fair with you guys?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Do we have to answer?
No, we don't have to answer. But it's interesting, always interesting to see what people ask. How many times, guys, around the world do you get the chance to ask anything you want to three such different men walking in Paris? I'd say 0 times. Macron's eyes, says Andrea. Was that Macron on that sign back there? Maybe. The door to the Hotel de Sol is such a cool find, says Lisa. Yeah, that is a cool find. Kenny says, Jeff, your interviews with Oliver and Lena for Alliance Francaise have been outstanding. I joined Alliance Francaise Omaha as a thank you, even though I don't live in Omaha.
Wow. Merci.
That is a compliment.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Laurie says, I love this. I just bought Paris on Air by G and Koterba cartoon book at Bookworm yesterday.
Wow.
Double support, Laurie. That's very kind of you. Also, they still have Paris on Air in there. Huh?
Yeah, and they have my cartoon book.
Hey, look at that.
And it's a fun read.
Next time you come to Paris, Laurie, we'll both sign them for you, although you will be in Omaha again.
Oh, that's true.
I'm promising things that I shouldn't promise. Let's just peep in here while these people can walk behind us, can sneak past us. I'm going to do I'm going to put my camera through.
Oh, that's making me nervous.
Is it? If I drop it, the walk's over, huh? If I dropped it, I would jump over the fence to get. Yeah.
I kind of want to see that.
There were spikes on the top of the fence.
Maybe they
yeah.
meet here.
This just as now that we're all in prison. Speaking of dangerous, not dangerous, but speaking of climbing and sneaking, I mentioned it really briefly before, but I went into the illegal part of the catacombs, and so tomorrow's episode, for you guys who are new, around here, the podcast episode. So the podcast is called The Eiffel Tower. Tomorrow is my I did like a live recording.
Underground there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it
You know,
was,
I understand that lots of people do it, but it's illegal technically.
I know, Bernie.
Okay.
You don't need to
already
remind
done
me.
it, so.
Yeah, I've done it. And if anyone asks me about it, I'll say that I faked
Right.
it.
And it's very secretive. They won't tell you where the entrances are or
No,
anything
no, no.
like that.
And I'll tell you this. I'll give you the little inside scoop here before the episode comes out. The entrance that we went into, they made me swear. They made me swear to secrecy. The entrance that I went through, you would never see it or guess that it was there, even if you were walking past it. It was like a slit in the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was.
Can you tell us where?
No.
Yeah.
I can tell you it's in the 14th arrondissement and not a word more. And do you know how you know it's the 14th when you're there? The street sign. Yes, okay, here we go. Back through. That'll be on the podcast tomorrow, the Eiffel Tower. And I'm going to show you guys some videos when we finish. Like the water was halfway up my thigh
Wow.
in some bits.
Were you carrying a flashlight?
Was
or
it
just
clean
your
water
phone?
or
Dirty water, and I had a headlamp. And they advised me to bring 2. And we were down there for 5.5 hours.
Oh.
And I needed the second one because the battery ran out.
Wow.
And rats?
No rats, no rats. No. Healthy. There's nothing to eat down there. Except lost tourists. Enough about that. That'll be out tomorrow. That's not the idea. Brenda says, can you explain arcade, s'il vous plaît? I don't know if arcade is the right word for what these things are, but that's what I've always called them. Do you know?
Well, I would call them a fence.
No, I mean these things.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I don't know that, but it was built originally with the Place des Vosges.
Yeah.
And so locals could open their shops here and residents were above.
Yeah.
At least sure looks like that.
Yeah. And you need to have the right personality, if you know what I mean, to live here nowadays.
Yeah.
When I say personality, I mean this kind of personality. We'll walk. I picked the worst of the arcades to walk through. That looks like the best of the arcades because the music was coming from there.
There's a violinist over there, but I don't know if he's.
There he goes. He's going to play now.
Okay, I'll take everyone over there for a quick one. Here we go.
Put it down. Oh, there's a
We'll walk past. We'll walk this way, so we're just like we're walking past. See, this is what we do for you guys in Omaha and Tasmania and Sydney and New York and so on. We go back for the live music. We got the thumbs up from the violinist. Okay, now back.
Oh, love it.
Oh, this is where we should be eating tonight.
come back here and have a cocktail. Oh man,
They're good, aren't they?
they're very, very good.
I wonder the name of the restaurant for people who want to come here one day. There you go. Take a screenshot. Serpent à plume. Like snake with a feather? My rudimentary French suggests that's what it means. Okay, here we go. I wasn't looking at comments for a second.
Soundtrack.
Yeah.
Make it follow.
You should have joined them. You could improve that.
Agreed. Definitely look like Steve Carell. What, the eyes? We still talking about the eyes? Did I get claustrophobic down there? I don't want to give away the whole story, guys. But no. These live walks are priceless, says Lucy. Your guests add so much to your already great content. Thanks, Lucy.
Thank
What a
you,
lovely thing to
Lucy.
say.
We like her a lot.
That's a triple compliment. Ask Jeff about displaying his artwork in France and how he was once in an exhibition with Pablo Picasso's work.
That's true.
Go on then.
Yeah, no. Each year I take part in a cartoon salon in Saint-Just, which is near Limoges, and my work is displayed there, and alongside with some cartoonists from Charlie Hebdo. And then I've been in a couple of other exhibits, one at the Austrian embassy here in Paris, and then in Amiens, and that was where I walked in, and there it was, one of my works next to a Picasso, and I wept, and
I'd be pretty proud of that.
yeah,
for you.
it was a cool experience.
Wow.
So
Bravo.
I don't know what. Should we show the rat that I just saw?
Did you see
oh,
one?
there it is. There it is.
Do you guys want to
yeah.
see a rat? Nah,
Yeah,
you don't want to see
he
a
moved
rat.
away already.
A little friendly rat, a little ratatouille. Look, you know, one thing I'm proud of with my work is that I'll show the reality. And if there is a rat,
You show the rat.
there are rats in Paris sometimes. But Picasso was in the news today because one of his pieces of work
Yes.
sold for like $11 million
Yes.
or something.
Yes.
Goodness me.
That was not the piece that was next.
Imagine that. Imagine if the photo in the newspaper had yours
And
next
yours
to
right
it.
next to it. Wow.
And people look and go, which one was the one that sold for 11 million?
You know, and Banksy did that. We were talking about Banksy earlier. You know, the shredded.
Oh, yes.
Shredded painting. My friends keep saying I should shred some of my cartoons, but my fear is that I would shred them, and then people would say,
No, but
why'd you do that?
his shredded right after it sold,
No,
right?
yes.
So you just do the same. Steal his idea.
I'm currently drawing on an iPad, so that would
Shred the iPad, Jeff.
shatter it.
Some comments. Carl jumped in and says he loves the rats. I love that. Because I know that there are new viewers, I'm going to give you the 10-second version of why I'm obsessed with these things. And Maria has been to the Austrian embassy for tea with the former ambassador.
Oh.
Well. These things are really interesting. You'll see them all over Paris. Do you two know what they are?
No.
Jeff? No?
Yeah, I remember you've talked about them, and they have to do with horses.
That's right. They're called chasse roue. They stopped the carriage wheel from damaging the wall. And you can see really different, especially in the Place de Vosges, really different ones on different doors. And they often would signify what kind of wealth the people had behind them. If they're really grubby old stone ones.
Back behind this violin or cello. These paintings here are pretty cool.
Nice.
Interesting.
Nice that they left the lights on for us. Hang on, did Jeff's mum comment? I love Jeff's mum's comment. I missed it. Helen, is that your mum?
Yeah.
Really
Mom.
enjoy your work. So interesting. Nice seeing you, Jeff, in Paris. Love you, Mom.
Oh, I love you too, Mom.
Oh, Helen. How sweet. We're going to turn left here, and our hour is almost up.
Yeah, I think it is.
We've got 2 minutes according to this. Anyway, when you walk past the doors, you'll see different stone guards, I think they might be called in English, and you can collect them. I don't have a fancy app for them, but I just appreciate them. So take pictures of them, be like me. And if you find any really good ones, some are like in the shape of dragons and stuff, send them along.
Over here, bells ringing now.
There you go. That's how you know that the hour's up. What we might do is we might end with a look at the beautiful St. Paul church. It could be a cathedral, but I think it's a church, which is chiming now. And so when you see the church, that's how you know we're about to end, and we'll talk to the camera and say our goodbyes.
Okay.
But but over 100 people are still watching, so we must be doing something right.
It must be interesting then, at least to most.
Well, Leslie says this has been lots of fun. She says
good.
thanks to the guests. And Baxter wonders when I'm coming to Omaha. Well, as soon as I'm invited.
Oh, you've
No,
been invited.
I'm just kidding. Well, I planned to. You guys know I
You were
planned.
supposed to be there a year ago, May, I think.
Exactly. And obviously,
Something happened. I can't remember
yeah,
what that
obviously
was.
we're not going to dwell on why I didn't go there. But I had a big book tour planned that obviously didn't happen. What else have we got here? A lot of people saying hi to your mom.
Oh.
I just read that Jeff is a musician. Where does he go in Paris to listen to music, wonders Lynn.
Well, just a few minutes ago, this great band on the patio. I actually, that's a great question. I don't think I've listened to music here very much.
You haven't had time yet.
I haven't. No. How about you? I mean, when I'm here, I'm doing other things.
Yeah,
like
but
cartooning things.
for me it's weird because everything's been closed for so long. Then we just had a baby, so I'm like 2 years out of the regular flow.
Sure.
Well, there's no point in me recommending anything.
Maybe she has some recommendations for me next time.
Yeah, Lynn, maybe you got some recommendations. We're turning right here. Where's that big church? Or is it behind me? There it is. Yeah, so we're 100 yards from the church. That's where we're going to finish.
Okay.
We'll leave you on a beautiful big church for your Sunday afternoon
My
in
wife
Omaha.
will be happy. She loves the architecture of churches. But if she drags me to more than one church per day, then I usually put a stop to it.
Is that the limit? One a day?
Yeah, one per day max.
I think this meets the Sunday obligation.
So we're not sponsored by this brand, but Julia Roberts looks extremely young there. How old is Julia Roberts? Does anyone know?
She's not 20.
She's aging very
Very well.
Terrific walk, says Jenny. Jenny with a G. That's not every day I've seen that. Thanks, Oliver and guys. Kazilla or Catzilla maybe. So pleased the dog woke me up at 5 a.m. Wow, where are you?
Nice move.
Bonjour AFO says, any comments on Musée d'Orsay? We did do a bit of
We
Musée
did do
d'Orsay.
some, yes. Yeah.
That just revealed that you haven't been watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Eiffel Tower. Thanks, Oliver, for tonight's walk. My pleasure. And yeah, go check it out. Listen. This is what I would recommend for you guys who are new. Just listen to the podcast tomorrow. If you're not hooked by that, then I'm never going to hook you. Or if you're not hooked by this walk, I'm never going to hook you either, I'd say. That's pretty fair. Here's the church.
Is this what the metro is named after? This St. Paul?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the basketball court is right behind it where I play.
Ah.
And it's, I think it's called the Jardin Saint Paul. I don't know. Maria Trenzado says, interesting guest referring to you two, which is a compliment. Maria, I think Maria's listened to every episode. Okay,
Here we are.
you know what? This
It's pretty at night.
definitely isn't the church that I was intending. The one that we heard was further down that way,
thought
but
St.
this
Paul
is
was
still
further
a
that
yeah.
way,
This
but
is
it's okay.
This is still a really beautiful one,
It is.
and this is where we're going to end by giving our. Maria has listened to every podcast episode. Goodness me. Okay, we'll do it so that the church is behind us.
Behind us?
Whee!
Oh, slowly we turn.
Okay, so now we get our final words in Bernie and Jeff. Oh, with the bus.
It's
We got a
perfect.
good view of the bus.
I'm
don't we?
going to go hop on the bus now.
We can go on this side.
This is where we delivered our. This is where we got our falafel delivered. Is that not right? So we're just going to wait for the driver. But I'm going to give you guys a chance to say your final words of wisdom or thank you.
Well, I just thank you all for joining us. It was a pleasure for us. It's always a pleasure to be in Paris anyway, but to be with these two young guys and with their talent, it's a real honor for me. Thank you for being here.
An honor and pleasure for me as well. Big thanks, Oliver, for handling this for Alliance Francaise Omaha. We have a great organization. I think we kind of do some cool stuff at Alliance Francaise Omaha. And a big thank you to my supporters on Patreon. And Bernie, it's just a delight to hang out with you like this. So thank you very much to all of our friends in Omaha and all of the folks who have no idea who we are and were so kind and patient to hang out with us. We're really grateful to all of you. So thank you very, very much.
I often wonder if the people who don't know who we are here for the Marais and have tuned out already.
That's okay. That's
But
okay.
if that is the case, we're all honored to hopefully entertain you with our walk. If not, well, I don't know why you watched for over an hour, but thanks for doing it. As for me, I'll give my last words. if you're one of my regular supporters, there's plenty of stuff in the pipeline. Check it out on patreon.com/theEffelTower. If you're from Omaha, you've got no idea who I am, fix it. Go and listen to the podcast, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and check out my work, because if you like Paris and French, I think you'll like the rest of the stuff that you see. And on that note...
And your new
Au
book
revoir.
at the Bookworm.
Oh yes, at the Bookworm, check out the book. There's a link below directly to the Bookworm with my books. There's enough copies for you guys to get them, make them sell out, and then get them to call me and say we want more books. That's my goal, make it happen. Merci beaucoup.
Merci, au revoir,
beaucoup.
à la prochaine.
Au revoir. And I'll finish with a pan of the street so that you guys, look, there's Bastille up there.
Yes,
A pan of the street for everybody.
View of the
Yeah. So everybody can feel like they're walking off to their dinner reservations, just as we're about to do too. Farewell, everybody.